doubling down on his effort to fire a member of the Fed's Board of Governors. NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander has that story for us. Peter, good morning.
Laura, good morning. This clash, many economists warn, matters to every American because it could impact how much you pay for things from homes to cars. President Trump's targeting one of the governors of the Federal Reserve, they say, risks the independence and the integrity of the Fed that's tasked with keeping the U.S. financial system among the strongest in the world, all of it marking the latest test in the president's efforts to expand the powers of his office. This morning, President Trump's battle with the Fed heating up after his abrupt move to fire Lisa Cook, a member of the Federal Reserve Board. Cook's lawyer is vowing to sue the Trump administration to challenge her removal, which he calls an illegal action, arguing the president had no authority to order her firing from the independent central bank. But in a wide-ranging cabinet meeting yesterday that lasted more than 3 hours,
this has never been done before.
The president indicating he wants to fill the board with allies.
We'll have a majority very shortly.
The Fed determines interest rates that affect Americans' finances. President Trump wants them lowered, believing it would spur the economy and help housing costs.
Housing is going to swing and it's going to be great.
But many economists warn lowering rates too quickly could risk higher inflation. The president zeroing in on Cook, who has opposed rate cuts, accusing her of mortgage fraud, citing a criminal referral from the nation's top housing regulator, a Trump ally.
We need people that are 100% above board, and it doesn't seem like she was.
But Cook, who has 13 years left in her term, has not been charged with any crime and says she's gathering the accurate information about her financial history. Democrats accuse the president of trying to distract voters from economic concerns.
He cannot fire his way out of this economy.
It comes as President Trump is pushing to exert more control over violent crime in the nation's capital.
If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty.
D.C. abolished capital punishment more than 40 years ago. And with the National Guard in the streets of D.C., the president is also escalating his threats to deploy troops to Democratic-led states like California and Illinois, whose governor bashed the president's plan as unconstitutional.
I would have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States.
And Peter, back to this fight at the Fed, it seems like it's just inevitable. It's headed into court.
Yeah, you're right. This is likely to get litigated in the courts, Laura, and it could open up another legal battle at the Supreme Court with its 6-3 conservative majority. The Supreme Court has repeatedly allowed President Trump to fire leadership at independent agencies, but notably it has protected the Fed's independence. Just a few months ago, the court called the Federal Reserve a, quote, uniquely structured quasi-private entity, and that the president can only fire board members for cause. In effect, arguing that the Fed should continue to be insulated from the political interference, of any kind. Laura.
Peter Alexander at the White House. Thank you.
Also this morning, protests are mounting across Israel. Demonstrators, including families of hostages, packing the streets, urging leaders to end the war in Gaza, even as Israeli forces push forward with a takeover of Gaza City. NBC's Molly Hunter is in Jerusalem for us once again. Molly, good morning.
Craig, good morning to you. That's right. Across Israel, frustration is growing. Protesters demanding a peace deal. And later today in Washington, President Trump is holding a major meeting on Gaza.
Overnight, 500,000 people across Israel taking to the streets, calling on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a deal to release the hostages and end the war.
I can't think of something more important than ending this pointless, endless war and bringing back the hostages.
Last night, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff offering a timeline.
We think that we're going to settle this one way or another, certainly before the end of this year.
Hamas has agreed to one proposal that has been on Prime Minister Netanyahu's desk for more than a week, as Israel continues its military buildup in northern Gaza. But this comes as the Israeli military is under international pressure to explain the killing of 20 people, including 5 journalists in a pair of strikes on Nasser Hospital. The IDF releasing its preliminary findings, claiming troops identified a camera that was positioned by Hamas used to observe troops. But there was only one camera on the roof of Nasser Hospital, a Reuters camera, according to 5 journalists on the ground, eyewitnesses to Monday's attack. They say to film on the roof of the hospital required Israeli military coordination. Reuters' live feed has been broadcasting there for the last 18 months, according to the agency. At the moment of the first strike, the live feed freezing. Dropping audio, the cameraman Hussam al-Masri killed.
Now, a senior Hamas official has told NBC News there was no Hamas camera in the area. The Israeli military says they're also looking into the field decision making, but that preliminary statement, those preliminary findings, does not answer the big question why there was a second strike. Craig?
Molly Hunter Force there.